In many popular histories of the American Revolution, you hear the story that the American revolutionaries defeated in the British Army the biggest and best army in the world. And the British Army was quite good, but they were by no means the biggest in the 18th century world. That distinction goes to some of the continental powers on Europe, one of those being the French army. And the size and the power of the French army reminds us of the significance of the alliance with France that Americans had during the Revolution and how important that was for their overall victory, bringing the full military might of the French nation into this global conflict. By the eve of the American Revolution, the French army outnumbered the size of the British army 3 or 4 times. It was a massive military force, very diverse, drawn from across not only France, but actually other parts of Europe as well, and it had been undergoing a series of radical transformations since the end of the 7 Years' War. The French had somewhat catastrophically lost that global conflict, losing Canada and other territories across the world, and also seeing a string of defeats in Europe itself. This shocked the French to their core, and it prompted them to look at military institutions in a much more detailed way. Reformers were given license to rebuild and refit the French army, and over the course of the 1760s and 70s, the French underwent a series of transformations to their military world, from the design of weapons systems to tactics and organization, literally down to the buttons on soldiers' uniforms. This meant that the French army by the 1770s was a very different one from that had fought the 7 Years' War, and by the time the American alliance was achieved in 1778, the French were able to field one of the most sophisticated militaries in the world at this time and severely throw the British off guard. While the French didn't achieve all of their war aims in their alliance with the Americans against the British over the course of the global Revolutionary War, they were able to severely hamper the British and ultimately aid the Americans to win their independence over this long global conflict.